everybody, I'm Chaz with Board Game Geek, and I'm here with Glenn from Forbidden Games, who's going to entice us with some of the upcoming expansions for some of the recent favorites here. So share with us what's coming up.
Awesome. So currently on Kickstarter is our expansion for Railroad Rivals, which came out last September, and it basically takes a game that's gateway, simple, easy in, and easy to play in an hour or so, and makes it more of a gamer game.
Okay, I got a chance to play this at Gen Con last year. It is an economy-based stock type of game.
Yep.
And so what layer does that add on to?
So the base game is basically tile drafting, tile laying, pick up and deliver. It's an 18xx style game that you can play in 45 minutes.
Yes, yeah.
So super fun, super condensed. So the new additional product in the expansion is a 6th player color. It's extra goods that can be delivered, as well as a whole new railroad, the NY, NH, and H, which is a famous northeastern railroad that goes from New York to Boston. And then all the town tiles that go between there, so Worcester and New Haven and all those cities. And then it adds gameplay, additional gameplay. So you've got basically upgrade tiles, so you can have an upgraded locomotive that'll give you extra points when you make deliveries. You can have stock shenanigan tiles. So now the stocks always in the game were just moving up in value. So now you can do things like loot the company. You can do your own stock issues, so you get to pull out of the pile. You can do insider trading, so you get to move first.
So the stocks are a little more volatile, potentially?
A little more volatile, and there's a little bit of, stick it to your neighbor kind of gameplay going on, instead of basically the, just getting in each other's way a little bit. So it's much more gamer intense gameplay. And, people were asking for that. They really liked the gameplay, but they're like, the stock market feels, especially in this time of history, like it should be much more of a daggers out kind of thing.
I'm sorry, I blew up all of your stuff, and now I have all your money.
Exactly.
Does it retain the same? Does that affect the gameplay length?
A little bit, actually, it does. And we are recommending that you play it with the water towers and hotels, so that it adds about 20 minutes. So now it's an hour, quarter, hour and a half.
So very manageable.
Much more intense, gamer experience. So much fun. So that's on Kickstarter right now. All right. Next month, we're going to be launching the expansion for Raccoon Tycoon.
Now, I have heard nothing but praise for this. I have this in a box waiting for me when I get home. So, tell us what this adds.
It's super fun, and I think like all of our games, you can learn it and teach it in 5 minutes. So it's really easy in, and the kind of the gist of it is the depth of the strategic decisions. And, so that's really where the complexity of the game and the appeal is. So in Raccoon Tycoon, you're basically doing one of 5 actions on your turn. So, we wanted a game like in the vein of Settlers, in the vein of economic games, but you never would miss a turn. It was never, a time where you'd be like, oh, I can't do anything interesting on this turn. You could always do something fun and interesting on your turn. So you can basically produce goods, which also causes those different goods maybe to go up in price in the marketplace.
Yeah, that's always neat.
Right? You can sell goods, and if you sell goods, say you sold wood, 5 wood would drop the price 5. So it's a very simple supply and demand economy. The 6 commodities, and then once you've made your money, and let's just say you had wood, I had wood, I want to sell before you because I'll drive the price down. Right? And then you're stuck with a bunch of valueless commodities that you have to sit on. But really the gist of the game is in the engine building part. So you got these specialty building tiles that are, extra production, extra victory points, more money that you can make in different ways, commissions and things like that when other people are selling, and ways to break the rules. So those combos of those buildings add the depth of decision making in the game without adding any complexity to the rules.
Right, and that's really nice.
And then you have these beautiful cards that are these anthropomorphic animals, and those are the railroad cards and the victory point drivers. And you have auctions to get those. So you take your money and you're like, okay, I can either spend it on these buildings that'll give me future benefit, or I can hold an auction because I see she doesn't have enough money and I can win this cheaply. Right? So its timing is the big part of the game. So, and then the last thing are town cards, which can be combined with the railroad cards to give bonus points, and those are simply acquired by spending commodities. But you get a discount if you can do the commodity on the card. So I might say 4 of anything or 2 coal.
Excellent.
And then you just get the card. So very simple. I just taught you the whole game.
Yeah.
And you can play this game in an hour, but there's really a great interplay between the players. People are shouting and screaming and laughing as the auctions are happening, and gotcha moment where you sold before I could sell and things like that.
Yeah. And you said this expansion makes things a little more gamerly.
Right.
What does this one's upcoming expansion do?
So several things. Firstly, players during the original Kickstarter were really wanting a player board.
Okay.
Right, that added the ability to kind of put all your stuff on there and organize it, because and determine how many of each commodity or all commodities you could have in your supply.
Yeah.
Things like that. Very simple addition. We decided that's great, but we want to add gameplay to that.
Okay.
So now you're going to be able to have the commodities being used to drive things like locomotives, housing and population, and then tycoons. So you're going to be generating with these cool little, tiles, moving them forward in value, but that'll give you points at the end of the game. But now you're using commodities in a different way. Right? Instead of selling them and buying them and building towns with them, you're actually using them to drive these specific drivers.
Neat.
And there's a little bit of a hierarchy in there, so you can't just do whatever you want whenever you want.
Okay.
And then new buildings, of course, that'll add all new benefits. Sixth player cards. We've had a beautiful Jackrabbit, art for the sixth railroad, the Jackrabbit Railroad, and then new town cards.
Excellent. Wow.
So, and there'll be other stuff too, but that's the gist of it.
Okay. But you're not done, because in addition to those two expansions, you have something else, your Gen Con release?
This is our Gen Con release. We're
Okay.
super excited. We are finally finishing all the assets this week and sending it to production.
Okay.
So it's going to the factory, and that's what we're promoting here at Gamma.
Okay.
And we're involved in some very exciting things for the launch at Gen Con. We have over 100 pieces of unique artwork done by a Disney artist. So in the Disney style. He actually works at Disney during the day, and on the train ride home, he does our stuff.
That's so cool.
It's very cool. So
Nice.
the game is gorgeous. I didn't want to bring the whole setup here because we're doing 3 things, but the game's beautiful and is really easy. It's kind of a light deck builder.
Okay.
Where you're simultaneously racing on 3 tracks, and you can basically use the cards for their numeric value to race ahead, or their specialty power. And you acquire new cards and build your deck by looting merchant ships and impressing their sailors into your crew, or then going to town and selling the cargo and getting the real specialty guys.
Okay.
But then you're getting off the track. Right, so you're not racing. So your easy kind of choice is: do I race ahead, or do I get off the track to build my deck and get more points?
Interesting.
And then is the first player to reach the end of the track on any one of the 3 ends the game automatically, and you score based on finishing position.
Okay.
So you're racing and looting and pillaging and plundering and getting.
So you have to
crewmen.
balance your timing a lot.
You do.
With that. Okay.
Exactly. So again, very simple idea, and the gist in the decisions and the competitions in the gameplay to make it really easy.
Very nice. All right, and you said that's going to be your Gen Con release?
That's our Gen Con release.
So that's this summer around August.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Well, thank you, Glenn, for sharing all of this with us. As always, I'm super intrigued, and I'm looking forward to finding out more of this in the months to come.
Sounds great.
Thanks.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks, and thanks for watching.